because he at that point he would be the only one standing. So then,
Unique, then Snap and Pop.
well, I think Snaps and Pop is gonna get taken out, possibly in that episode 6, 7 range, too. So I think close around the same, but I don't know. I think Unique would be the last one to fall. I think I'm gonna go with that. And I know Getting How I Live. I didn't watch the video, but I remember him saying something about Unique being the last domino or something. So he probably was saying that. But yeah, I think Unique probably would be last, and or maybe he'll go right before Snaps and Pop. I don't know.
Well, Snap and Pop they was gonna get rid of him anyway.
True, but yeah, after that, I think we'll get that flashback for episode 8. I mean, I said flashback, the time jump for episode 8. Then we're gonna see Ghost and Tommy show up.
Now
And
you got Unique giving a speech to Kanan about family, but we don't know the time frame for that.
early, I would say early.
And then we got Kanan saying, no one is untouchable, and as he's shooting somebody, which could be Unique.
And we gotta pay attention to what OG Kanan is saying at the beginning of the trailer when he's narrating, basically implying that, if you didn't like him then, you damn sure not gonna like him now, because he basically he's saying the moves he's gonna be making in this new season is gonna be some cold blooded shit that people probably gonna hate him for.
I don't think anybody's ever liked Kanan.
There's a lot of people like Kanan.
Even the teenager Kanan, he was so stupid.
Well, I don't know about the teenage one. I was talking about OG one.
Oh, so this if you Sasha Penn and you wanted to respect the audience, which means they got to have some continuity. So how does this tie back to Kanan's statement that he went to see his mom?
So
As if he was on, and he said it like he was on good terms with them, and then Tommy just says like, "Okay, man."
yeah. So like I always said, it could mean a couple of things. But I do think he's gonna have a good relationship with his mom before their separation. Whether that means her dying, going to prison, or just simply leaving and them not having much contact with each other anymore.
Or him finding out the truth.
Well, I think
She
him
didn't
finding
that
out the
she
truth.
didn't kill. See, at the beginning, he still thinks she was behind Famous and Crystal's death.
Right. So I'm saying him finding out the truth is gonna happen. But whether she lands up in prison, just simply leaving or dying, still can be all on the table. Now I'm leaning more towards now more than ever that she's gonna make it out of the series. I believe she's still alive currently.
That's where I would go with it too, considering how. But see, when that scene where he said that, and Ghost didn't respond, but Tommy did, and it's hard to tell why would he say. Then he just said, "Oh, okay, man." It was kind of subtle.
Yeah, I remember
Like
exactly how it was.
if I told you I was going to see my sister, and she's in Elmwood Cemetery, both my sisters are. Elmwood Cemetery.
Yeah, but they can also take
But
it as okay, he's going to her grave. He went to her grave.
right, that's kind of the response says that. But the way Kanan said, I went to see my mom. See, we didn't know all this backstory when he said that. It was just like she just was down the street living. We didn't even know his mom was a gangster when Kanan said that in OG Power. OG Power.
Hypothetically speaking, right? What if that person he's shaking up is Ghost on on confirming the hit on Breeze that set up Origins and in the season finale type shit would be fire. So Leon, what exactly part are you talking about the shakeup? Because if you're talking about the part that I already covered, the person looked the hand kind of looked older. Now, if they kind of did a time jump to maybe 4 years later, then perhaps.
Yeah, I mentioned that get out of jail free card earlier, and this makes sense because they got all these Italians and mafia and crap going on. What
Right,
Mr.
Richie.
Dub is saying.
Yeah, that's what I be telling folks. Like even in Power, Ghost says it. Ghost says when in episode what's that? I want to say it was 615. Is either 615 or 610. He's when Tasha walks up and she asks him, "What are you doing here?" And Ghost responds to her and says, came to see my daughter, tell her about my future. Clearly, it's a grave that's dead, but he was referring to her, saying, I'm here to see my daughter." So the same thing could be said with Kanan when he said, "I went to go see my mom." Like I said, they are doing their own Five Families Rico takedown with the Thomas family at the center. Marvin is the pressure point of the investigation, and Rock has the offer to snitch on Stefano. Yeah, yeah, we did talk about that though. You just probably wasn't in here, but we actually when we do these lives and stuff, that's one thing that we definitely discuss quite often. That get out of jail free card.
And Marvin, I still say to get a bag of diamonds and pearls. To me, an escape. We don't mention that. I mention it every time though.
I will say this though, it would be very shocking, but at the same time satisfying if Marvin some kind of way made it out.
Could that be why Juke ended up going to DC?
Could be.
But she didn't become a cop till Kanan was in prison. And then Trayvon tied to DC too.
Is it? Was it Jersey? That is true. Why is B really still alive? Kill that nigga.
He wasn't in the trailer. But see,
he
didn't he help Lou pull off the kidnapping?
Yeah.
And he probably let them go.
Man.
Could he have killed Lou?
To be honest with you, shit, I gotta get up in about 4 hours. But shit, I might do a daytime live tomorrow. I'm gonna definitely do some more video. And I might fuck around and do a daytime. Jukebox knew Ghost and Tommy from back the day, so she couldn't have gone to DC. Yeah, she definitely knew them.
And they talk like she was crazier than what we've seen.
Right.
We haven't seen her that crazy. What they were scared of her. Kanan was too.
Yeah, because I do think they're gonna have a situation where Jukebox is gonna give him that scar. He's gonna do something that's gonna piss her the hell off. Whether it's snaking her dad or perhaps what happened with Lou, she probably will go after that fool. And then like you think about her giving you a scar like that, like, you gonna remember that shit. B really heard the shot and he drove off with Panera bread. And Jerome and dropped him out. Be really out in the first episode. Lulu gonna be at Rock House trying to stop Kanan. Unique probably be really out trying to find Panera bread.
That works.
Yeah, because he is worthless. Get his ass up out of here. But anyways, the last one thing we're gonna cover real quick. I ain't gonna be on too much longer. But who do y'all got surviving this shit? Like the whole season? Me, I got Rock surviving.
Okay.
Sasha Penn already said in the interview, we will get a definite reason why, yeah, Kanan was able to. Reason why Kanan was able to take Juke out so easily in OG. Yeah, I heard him say that. I ain't gonna lie, I hope Marvin pulled through, not only because he a fan favorite, but that cop's father on Nemesis reminds me of older Marvin, no cap. Yeah, a little bit.